The People's Platform.
Good evening and welcome to the show. My guest tonight is a veteran filmmaker, producer and screenwriter Chandran Rutnam. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening. Nice to be here.
Absolutely wonderful to have you here, Mr. Rutnam. We're coming to the end of 2023, having battled a series of crises. How has the film industry of Sri Lanka been affected? We have some of the most picturesque locations across the country, vibrant, stunning views. We have fantastic industry professionals. Are we adequately utilizing these resources that we have?
You know, we are not, and we never have. And that's a big shame, because there are two types of, see, when you talk about the film industry, it is not just making films. It is more than that. The film industry is very prominent in the tourist industry, because when you see a popular film with Mr. Shah Rukh Khan, for instance, dancing in Switzerland, all the Indians want to go on a holiday to that place.
Sure.
Now, we were presented with two iconic films, and we never made use of it. One was the classic Bridge on the River Kwai, and that's always one of the 10 best films list. It's one of the great films of all time.
Of course.
And then Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. But we never. Now, I don't want to talk about time, but for a very long time, I've been presenting this proposition to the tourist board at that time. I'm not blaming them, but they did not get it. You have to promote the location with an iconic movie. Now what happened? We never did.
Right.
We have little holes there in Kitulgara, and even now people come and see, oh, that's where you had the bridge. And it's only a little hole.
Okay.
I said, rebuild the bridge. People will come.
Of course.
So what does Thailand do? They make use of it, because the story was set in Thailand, but the film was not made in Thailand. Film was made in Sri Lanka, and the bridge looks completely different from the one in Thailand. But Kanchanaburi was the town. Now it is a major tourist attraction. They come there, they look at the museum, they look at the movie. So we are not looking at our neighbors and seeing what they're doing right. We have this one track. This is the problem. Now, when you talk about the film industry, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, India, all these countries surrounding us are doing extremely well.
Right.
We are the only people who are not doing well at all.
Okay.
There must be a reason. Why not go next to and say, hey, Sham, what are you doing right? But we don't.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that. The reason is we are award oriented.
Okay.
We are making films to get an award. See, but filmmaking is an industry. First of all, it was. Do you know that it was under the Ministry of Culture and Buddha Sasana?
I remember. Yeah.
Now it's under the Ministry of Media. No, look at the definition of media and look at the definition of filmmaking.
Right.
It is an industry. It should come under the Ministry of Industries. Now, and that is so that it generates money, it generates revenue, and builds it up, like every other country is doing. Now, in Sri Lanka, for instance, we make a movie, we go after the award and win the award, and that's it. The picture does not make money. The producer is ready to commit suicide. He didn't make his money back, or his mortgage is pending. But the director is happy.
Right.
So we got to get away from this award mania. You see, it's nothing wrong in winning an award. It's good. I won. A lot of my friends have won. It's good to win an award. It's recognition. But that's not the criteria. That's not the only thing. It's the economy, show business.
Yeah.
Show and the business part of it.
Right.
So we got to get away from that, and that has been the main hurdle. Even today, they are not making. I'll give you an example. I made a movie called A Common Man with Ben Kingsley. It made $32 million. Sri Lankan movie. never shown in Sri Lanka. Why? The producer was from Malaysia. He's not interested in the Sri Lankan market. You know? So these are the things. We got to look at these things and address it properly. Then, but on the positive side, God, I always say God has given us the greatest country in the world. I mean, look at the locations we have. You know, that is another part of the business. That is, people come to shoot films on our locations. That is one part of the business.
Right.
Then making stories and movies is another part of the business. They are not together. They are two separate things. Now, people come here and make films. We have the loveliest locations, but we have to, you know, we have beautiful beaches. So does Hawaii. Next door to America, Hollywood. Why do you want to come here? No, you got to lasso them, tie them up and bring them here. That's how you do it.
Right.
You don't sit down and say they will come, they will come. It never works like that. And also we have to set up a facility that gives a reason for them to come here and make a film. Now we are planning with the help of the government. We are planning on taking over Ranveer studio, which has fallen apart. You see, they make things, but they don't know how to market. You know, you just don't make it and you sit on your butt and wait for somebody to come. No, you got to go out and get them.
Right.
I mean, in 1980, I brought in Tarzan the Ape Man. It was going to Africa.
Right.
I you know, metaphorically tied them up and dragged them here. Indiana Jones. It was being made in India, in Thailand.
Yeah.
In India.
Okay.
And in Jaipur, they even started building the sets. I got them to stop and come to Sri Lanka. So you got to market it also. You know, you got to have that passion. So now what we are trying to do is set up a studio and make a facility.
Okay. Right. Now we hear of the 1970s and the 1980s being the golden era, the Swarnamaya Yuga of Sri Lankan cinema. So we are always looking back, and back then there used to be a craze for cinema. Did Sri Lanka get left behind? Are we stagnating?
No, you know, we can't go to the past. Let that be. That was a time of our lives. That's a period of time. Today the technology is different.
Yeah.
The thinking is different. Let's address the issues today. You know, there's no point talking about, you know, those days I did this, those days I did that. There's no reason. India is the biggest film producer in the world. They make over 2,000 films a year. Hollywood only makes 300 to 400. We are right next door, 2 hours away, same color. What are we doing? We should get them to come here. It's cheaper. We have talented people. Our crews are absolutely talented. Our young men and women are very talented. Excellent international standard crews.
Right.
Why are we waiting? 2,000 films, can't we get 10? So that's what I'm trying to do.
Right.
I have to build a facility that they would want to work. Now, people laugh at me when I say I want to make Sri Lanka the film capital of Asia. That's my project.
Okay.
Film capital of Asia, and we can. You know, we there's no turning back now. You know, because when they're making 2,000 movies, will they want to go to Thailand? Maybe, but we are right next door and we are cheaper and we are the same color, we look the same, the Indians and us.
Right.
So there's no reason not to go after this business.
Okay.
And we are neglecting in that, you know. It's a shame.
All right, we're in conversation with veteran filmmaker Chandran Rutnam. We're going for a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
The People's Platform.
Welcome back to the People's Platform. We're in conversation with veteran filmmaker Chandran Rutnam. Speak to us about the projects that you're working on right now.
Well, you know, as a filmmaker, you don't plan one project.
Right.
You plan several.
Okay.
And then we're writing several screenplays, and then what happens, you know. I want to make a film on Rizana, the lady who went and had an issue in Arabia, Saudi Arabia, and that is a story that should be told because it's a very misunderstood story. We can't blame. We like to blame people. We like to blame, you know, but the true story is a matter of lost in translation.
Right.
So there is an issue there that can be explained.
Sure.
Then I have about 2 or 3 projects, and big ones, small ones, and then also we are encouraging other filmmakers.
Okay.
I have a system where I'm helping them. If somebody comes there with a script, I look at it, and if it's good, I'll get involved.
Right.
I give them equipment.
Okay.
And then I don't give them production money. I give them the equipment.
Okay.
I can control that. Production money you can't control.
Sure.
And then when they bring me the rushes, then if I like it, then I'll pay for the post production, because that's also a set amount of money that can be controlled.
Right.
The whole idea is to control the funding. You know. So and with our Asian Film Academy, now we are having 2 Indian films coming in January and February.
Okay.
And most of the students from Asian Film Academy, which we started recently, we are going to give them internships.
Okay, fantastic.
So they can bring the tea and do whatever, you know, hang around. So
Right.
the whole idea is you got to immerse yourself in that atmosphere.
Right.
You know, you can call it on-job training, but you have to observe and you get to know people. You have to interact.
Right.
You meet somebody and he's got an idea, and you share it. Then we'll find the money and do it. You have to get involved with each other. That's the most important part of the academy. It is getting to know each other and talking, you know.
Why is it that in Sri Lanka we have this mindset of not recognizing or giving the due dignity and relevance to professions in the creative sphere?
That is a sad thing. That's a very sad thing, you know. Not to brag, but I must say that during the time of the civil conflict, the JVP conflict, we could not film here. So I went to Malaysia. I spent 10 years there, and we created the film industry of Malaysia. You know, they have honored me because I am the one who brought all the films to Malaysia. Then we went to Borneo. We created the film industry of Borneo. You know, but there are so many blocks where I am trying to do the same thing in my country. I don't want to be negative, and I don't want to complain. It's not a matter of complaining. We have to overcome it. We can't talk about what you can't do. We can talk about what we can do.
Right.
So I'm going forward. And my ambition, as I said, is to make Sri Lanka the film capital of Asia, and we can do it. And bring all the films here.
How must we get the state involved, because state support is crucial. State prioritization of the film industry, of the arts, of theatre is of pivotal importance. How must the funding come in, the budgetary allocations come in?
You give them incentives and give them infrastructure that they can use. You know, like for instance, if we build Ranveer Thanna into a fully fledged studio, which I plan to do, we can give the producer a concession.
Right.
We can say, okay, you make the film and you pay us after you release it. We can do so many things.
Okay. In terms of structural reforms for the film industry, where are we lacking?
We are not lacking at all.
Okay.
In the early days, we could have said we are lacking because it was till the new technology, digital technology came here. Those days we needed a lot of equipment and this and that. Today about at least 10-15 guys have got the same equipment that they have in Hollywood.
Right.
So there are no more excuses. VFX, sound design, everything. You can do everything here, and we got talented boys and girls.
Okay.
So it's not like the old days where you need that. No. So they can do it. We can make the entire movie here. We have the talent, We have the know-how, we have the technology. There's no more excuses.
Mr. Rutnam, early in the conversation you said that the government needs to identify the film industry as an industry.
Yes.
And you mentioned that there's a key role that the tourist board has to play.
Yes.
Could you elaborate on this?
Yeah. Now, as I said, that the tourist board can promote our locations.
Right.
That's their job, promoting our locations, not making of films. Promoting our locations for foreigners, foreign countries to come and shoot their movies here.
Right.
So they can make it easy for them. You know, relax certain things, and you know, already now they have no visa. That's a big deal. You know, the Indians can come and make a film. So those are important things that the tourist board can do, and I think they're doing it. I think they're doing it now. You know, and they have now that a young man, Chaminda, from the tourist board. He just went to London and had a meeting. It was called
Shalaka
Focus.
Gajabahu.
Yes, and they have done a lot of good stuff. And I think they are going to do a big one in February of next year.
Right.
It's called Cine Locales.
Okay.
You know, and there we meet the people, we meet the producers,
Okay.
we talk to them, we get friendly with them. It's all relationships. You know, it's all relationships. That's why I talk about the academy. Even if nothing else, over a cup of coffee, you're meeting each other.
Sure.
That's a big deal.
So
You know?
this networking has to take place.
Yeah, and you become friends, and then you go forward, you know. And somebody has an idea, you know, and they say, really, you like, yeah, how about this idea? You talk, you know, and then, you know.
International collaborations are also important.
Yes.
How must we go about fostering these ties?
Yeah, now, you see, I make films. I'm very fortunate and lucky that I have the ability to do what I want. So I make films mainly for the international market.
Okay.
You know, I did Matthew in English. According to Matthew, I did Common Man in English.
Yeah.
And because there's a big market. English market is big. You know, singular market is very small.
Right.
But I enjoy making singular films.
Okay.
I have, you know, I do that, and I do that for the fun of it also.
Okay.
You know, I enjoy doing that. But as a business, we have to make films in other languages. Why not? Now there's a big market, Tamil market and Telugu market. Why aren't we addressing that? Why don't we just shoot it in singular and then shoot it in Tamil?
Right.
I did it once. I shot in single. I made a film called Mevage Adarayak
Okay.
with Dinakshi, and then I got Dinakshi out and put another actor, and that meant that film made more money than my local thing.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
that was an African film. They brought, some guy came and told me, I like your script. Why don't we do it in English? I said, no. This is just a fun thing. Then he said, okay, let's make it only for Africa. I said, you're crazy. He said, no, let's make it. He brought 8 actors from Africa, various countries, top actors, put them in there. Now, like Dinakshi shoots a scene, and then I say Dinakshi out, I put the other girl in there, and she does the English. And that film, the English film, made the money
Right.
in Africa. So Africa is another big market. We didn't know. You know, we could explore.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
we are just thinking that it's only our thing. No, what's wrong with Africa? Africa is big.
Okay. Finally, what does the cinema landscape look like for Sri Lanka?
Fantastic. Because you see, although it is fantastic, you must realize one thing. When a producer comes to make a movie here, he's got a story. He's not coming here because we have lovely beaches. If it fits the story. Now, those days, some earlier, I made a film called Iron Triangle, Vietnam. I told them that we can make Vietnam here.
Okay.
And we created Vietnam here. We created Bangalore here. We created India here. We created Africa here. I don't know whether you know, but we have so many. I brought over 100 movies, foreign movies, over 100. In 1980, 81, 82, we brought over $320 million.
Right.
At that time. You know, so why can't we do it again? Let's pay attention. You know.
All right. Thank you so much for your perspectives and for your time.
My pleasure.
Veteran filmmaker, producer and screenwriter Chandran Rutnam joining us. Thank you for watching. Good night.